Now we are all watching what is going on in and through prophecy, and we know that things are wrapping up rapidly. And you all know my favorite saying, get ready, get ready, get ready. How are we getting ready? Well, many people are very uncertain about how to get ready and what does it mean to get ready. People are saying prophecy's been fulfilled, but when you ask them how, they cannot even explain how prophecy is being fulfilled. So we will be going through what is being fulfilled, how it's been fulfilled, not tonight, but through our training. And we are going to look at how Christ is trying to bring us to oneness. You know, we cannot be blessed with this work, and we cannot be ordained with this work if we are not consecrating ourselves to Christ, and if we are not doing everything through and only through our spiritual books, which is the Bible, the spirit of prophecy. Now, I take things a little further and I prove things as well through science that all of you are aware of, or most of you, should I say, are aware of. Now, I'm going to bring up a very important point. People are always saying, so what is this thing about the medical missionary work and the health reform? Well, I know that most of you believe that we are going to come to a Sunday law soon. And I also know that you believe that when we come to the Sunday law, we will not be able to buy or sell. So what that means for you and for me as Seventh Adventists, if we cannot buy or sell, if we are diabetic, if we have high blood pressure, if we have cancer at that time, if we have a heart attack, or if we have any debilitating disease, we will not be able to purchase medication. So my big question is always, what are you going to do when that time comes and you cannot buy medication? It may not be you. It may be your parents. It may be your siblings. It may be your children. What are you going to do is the big loaded question. Well, saints, we have been handed down the most important work and the most important reform, which is health reform. So the medical missionary work and the health reform message is powerful and important. And that is why we need to learn and understand in 7 sessions through the Third Angels Ministry what is the health reform message and what is the medical missionary work. And I know we've got a new lady in tonight and she's gone through all 7 already. Praise the Lord, she did that yesterday. And the second thing I ask of you is to go through 7 sessions of what is the sanctuary, because we need to understand thoroughly the plan of salvation, and I will explain to you as we go along why you need to understand that. So my loaded question, what are we going to do when we cannot buy or sell? Well, saints, this work entails us to be able to do things without buying or selling. But that means we need to be prepared. So how can we prepare ourselves? Well, what is the first thing I teach when we are going into the actual hands-on medical missionary work? That is the simple remedies. We need the herbs. Where are we going to get the herbs from if we don't have our own herb garden? I also use certain spices for the healing. And if we do not have a wardrobe, a cupboard, a Red Cross bag, which Red Cross as an emergency medical missionary bag that has those spices, those herbs, and possibly the oils, you will not be able to help yourself or anybody else, including your children and maybe your parents, for those of you are lucky enough to still have your parents. So do you see and understand the urgency of us preparing? We need to start our gardens and we need to have the basic herbs first. What are the 4 basic herbs that you need to grow? Number 1 is red clover. Number 2 is dandelion. Number 3, if you have turmeric, you are doing great. And number 4, my suggestion is always ginger. Now, I'll give you a few others. If you have stinging nettle, you are doing great because that covers a lot of diverse disease. And then we look at spices like cayenne pepper. That's a great one to have. And cayenne pepper, really you can keep for many years. So given that list I've just given you, that is what you need to purchase immediately. whether it's seeds or whether it's plants, and you need to put those into pots if you're in apartments, and even if you're in houses, get them into pots and as close to your home as possible. So when raiding starts at that time, you've got plants that you've kept in your house, and also you need to dry immediately. So right now, my suggestion is order in bulk, those 4 herbs in bulk, and start putting them into dry packages. You can crush it fine, and you can package it between kitchen paper in layers, in massive plastic bags, because it's layered in kitchen paper, and I want you to store them in the fridge or in the freezer.